Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Raw Relay and Davy J podcast. It's your girl, Raw Relay, and I am here with yours truly,
Davy J.
We are so excited because we have some special guests in the building, some of my personal faves. We have the Shay Parker and Sophie here with us today. We are so excited.
Woo, 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 woo.
I can feel the excitement.
Oh, the energy.
We have been cracking up,
woo,
but
woo
we're
is
going to
crazy.
hop into it. And, I want you guys to have a chance to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you got going on right now and who exactly is Shay Parker and who exactly is Sophie, a.k.a. The Oddity. So I'm going to ask you, Shay, first. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, cool. Well, I know you guys know me, but this is the first time Sophie and I are meeting, and you guys' audience too. So I'm Shay
Yes.
Parker,
Hello.
and I am a media personality and entrepreneur, specifically here in the DMV area. You can catch me on middays on 93.9 WKYS. I'm also on middays in Charlottesville, 101.3 Jams. I have a podcast. It's called Diva Unfiltered that I host with one of my best friends, Dominique the Diva.
Yes.
And we are launching really soon, at the top of 2023,
Yes.
our fourth season.
Woo!
So
The
yeah.
fourth season. That is a
fourth
huge
season.
feat.
It
Yeah.
is a huge feat.
Yes.
I mean, new home,
Okay.
it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a
I
journey.
saw some of the pictures, a little bit of the BTS, so I'm excited to see
Yes.
what you guys have for us in
Yes.
this new season.
You are going to
So super
see
dope.
Diva Unfiltered like you've never seen it
Yes.
before. So I'm really, really excited about that. But excited for you guys too with this new platform.
It's
I'm a little
happening.
nervous.
It's happening.
I don't know about you, Sophie.
Sweating
Why
bullets
you
right
nervous,
now.
girl?
I don't know.
Why you
'cause
nervous,
Nervous.
girl?
Sweating. I don't trust y'all.
I don't either.
Hey.
I don't either.
Told him the topic, right?
They're talking about you.
We
not
don't know
me.
anything. We don't know any
Nothing. Y'all just told
topics.
us to come
We
This
wanted it to be
That's
authentic.
crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I didn't want them to become.
So this was planned. This was
prepared.
This was planned. That's crazy.
LOL.
See? Look at
But
that.
it's something that I know both of you guys personally relate to, and like really can give us that authentic, organic vibe.
Okay.
Yes. But Sophie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. Well, hi everybody. I'm not this calm, please. Okay, so hi. My name is Sophie. Everybody calls me the Oddity. I am a social media influencer, a digital content creator. I am an entrepreneur as well. I have over 700,000 followers across my platforms.
Woo!
I do YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I love empowering young women to be the baddest bees
Yes.
they could be, while also loving yourself authentically and being true to yourself. So that's what I do. I am also launching a podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm really
Okay.
I'm like, over here like
Podcast
taking
gang.
notes. Like, I need to
Podcast,
yeah.
everybody.
right. I need to like take notes from everyone right now because I'm really excited for my podcast as well, and this is like fun. So
Can you
nice to
tell
meet
us a little
everyone.
bit about it?
Yes, it's gonna be chronicling the journey of a 20-something-year-old growing up and what
Yeah.
lessons I've learned in life. Super
Oh, I
super
love
personal,
that.
like a dear diary to myself when
Yeah.
I was like 10 years old. So it's very personal. I'm really excited for it.
Oh,
Nervous,
I'm
but should be
I
excited.
like
fun.
that. I
That's
like
super
that.
Yeah,
exciting.
thank you guys.
I don't think I've heard something like that.
Right,
before.
I'm really excited. It's
Super dope.
very vulnerable. I technically love to overshare online, so
Yeah.
it's right up my alley.
I was gonna say that's probably gonna resonate a lot with your audience. Just
Yeah.
being an influencer.
Yeah.
Already people already feel like you're their best friend.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I
I
think
like to
that's
say-
gonna bring it full
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that pouring into each
Yes.
other.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
You. So today's topic today is it really just social media? And are we just trying to keep up with the Joneses? So we're kind of just pancaking the two topics together,
Mhm.
and we want to dive into it. And we thought both of you guys were the perfect people for it
Perfect.
because you guys keep it very authentic on your platforms,
Mhm.
very organic and stuff. However, as you said, like sometimes it is just the gram, and sometimes like not in your cases, but just in general, like it can just be the gram, and sometimes there's other people outside that might try to live up to that expectation of the gram. So we wanted to fully dive into there and see what your opinions are on certain things, advice you may give to other people that are trying to kind of follow in both of you guys' routes, and just just dive into it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That's a topic I can
yes,
speak on.
Yes.
So one thing that we did speak about just in social media in general was posting but not texting back. And a lot of
Okay.
people don't
Yeah.
understand.
It's gonna be fun.
A lot of people, a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because they might want to touch on it before I take her.
Yes.
Mhm.
Just
Okay.
because I post don't mean I want to talk to your ass.
Damn.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
seriously, and I think
Seriously.
I don't know, for lack of a better word, I'm just gonna call them regular people, because I don't know what other term to use. No shade, but I think when you work in a space where you are positioned as a public figure, or you talk for a living, like me
Yeah.
especially, like I talk literally all day. I'm up at 6, I'm pre-recording, I'm doing
Right.
commercials, like I'm on meetings, so I'm literally talking straight, like
Yeah.
for 9-10 hours.
Yeah.
So when I get home, I don't want to talk, and I don't mean just verbally, like I don't want to talk to anybody,
Right.
but a lot of times there are still things that need to be posted. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes I want to just decompress and do some scrolling, you know, when I
Right.
get off, and people do get offended by that. Like,
Repost a
oh,
meme or
I have a
something.
friend who
Yeah.
really gets offended. When she sees it, she's going to know exactly who I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about too,
And
because
she
y'all
doesn't
tweet to
give
each
a
other.
fuck. She does not give a fuck. She doesn't care. That's crazy. She was like, you know what? I gotta call you twice for you to pick up the phone. And I'm like, I just pick up the phone because I know that you're not gonna stop.
You're not gonna stop.
I can handle
This
one
is-
person in my life like that.
Yeah.
But when you have multiple people, you
Yeah.
know, in your
It's a
life
thing.
like that,
It's a
it's
thing.
hard, and it's like
Yeah.
it's not personal. But
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't. Just because I'm posting don't mean that I want to engage in a one-on-one
Right.
conversation.
Right.
I always also tell people, I'm saying, like, if you have someone who works a 9 to 5, there are folks who can't use their phone during their 9 to 5.
Right.
So I tell the same thing, like, if I'm on Instagram live, texting, whatever, that's my work. Like, that's
Yeah.
my job, that's my income. So when I'm doing that, you can't compare that to, oh, you just posting. I remember there was an ex of mine. Every time, like, they would call and I wouldn't pick up because I was on live, I would cut it. They'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you cutting the call? I'm like, because I was on live. And call kept coming in. He's like, oh, so because of Instagram now, you're not going to talk to me, blah, blah,
Wow.
blah. You pay my rent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay my bills? Because you're not.
Yeah.
This is literally my 9 to 5. And so when
Right.
it's like I'm at work when I'm online.
Yeah.
Of course, it's fun work and I'm sharing who I am, but it's work nonetheless. Like, if
Right.
I don't post a story, if I don't post on Instagram, if I don't tweet back, if I don't quote tweet, if I don't do all these things, I'm not going to have a job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I can't keep texting you if I need to get that job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's two different interactions, right? Like that's what I think people don't understand either.
Yeah.
Like me being on socials and retweeting,
Takes very
or
limited.
you know, take 140
Yeah.
characters
Very
versus
limited
the mental
thought, or
load
the
of
mental
texting
load.
back.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and it be the ones with the dry ass texting.
Yeah.
So you got.
I don't have anything to
You
reply
got to
back.
create a conversation, which
Hello,
takes more
hello,
energy,
Hey,
hello,
what are you
more
doing?
time.
What are you
That's
doing?
it.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. And then God forbid if the topic was earlier today, and then you got to recreate a conversation. Like, yeah. So, anyways, like I know I know I'm 2 hours late. I know I'm really late. I know but things were busy. It's a
Right.
lot. And
It's a lot.
I think again, what you were saying, a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you are on social media, a lot of it. I mean, even for me, is work. Like, I'm reposting. You know, trying to strategize my story that day. I'm coming up with all different types of things. So if I post something and don't text you back, I'm literally interacting probably with people on Instagram, with my
Yeah.
followers and DMs. It's a lot to keep up with DMs,
Yeah.
emails.
It's not
And
just
no
text,
matter,
posting.
have you ever
calls.
noticed that no matter how many times you tell people, even when it has to do with business, don't slide into DMs, email me, they're still gonna DM you.
Always.
Like,
always.
and then they get mad that you didn't see your DMs in that random folder from like 20 months ago. And I'm like, yes, because I said I don't look at my DMs for
anymore.
work.
Yeah.
but
I
That's a
don't
whole
know.
nother-
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a whole
it is a whole
that's
other
a-
thing.
no,
But I have to
literally,
get it
no,
off my
get it-
chest.
Get it off.
In
Get it
terms
off.
of texting, though, I think everyone just has accepted that I'm a very bad texter. So, like, by the time I get around to it, like, I may have responded in my head, but I think
Yes.
people just know.
I've
like-
purposely branded myself as a bad texter because I need to just really level set
Yeah.
with people's
Yeah.
expectations,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
especially you know, being single and dating.
Yeah.
I have to level set with you
Horrible
because
with
there
that.
may be
Yeah.
moments where you will talk to me all day.
Mm-hmm.
Just because on that particular day, like I don't have
Have
meetings
to.
or I don't have
Mhm.
interviews
Right.
or I might have pre-recorded or whatever. But it's like, I feel like men especially are very routine creatures. So it's like as
Yeah.
soon as you start like deviating from the routine, like they think something is like
I'm just like, I
wrong.
just got busy.
And it's just,
Probably
I
think
don't
you
feel
got other
like
men.
it.
Yeah.
Immediately, guys.
It's
be like,
always
"She
other,
got
it's
other
always
niggas
other
going
niggas.
on.
It's always
She
other
got
niggas.
other niggas.
It's
other
never,
niggas.
it's never
It's
I'm
never
getting
your-
on her fucking nerves.
Yeah.
It's never she's tired. It's always
She got other
you
people.
know,
Somebody
you
else
got
is
a
on the
little
line.
date, don't you? Oh, you
Right,
da da
you
da.
got a leg tonight.
come on, man. But I do think you just have to have like those like level setting conversations, you know, even with friends. I'm like, I personally do not care for people contacting me on Mondays during the workday. Like I'm trying to reorient myself and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And it's like when you're constantly picking up calls or constantly picking up your phone to text, for me personally, it like deviates my focus. Yeah. So it's like, okay, now I'm on my phone texting you, but now I done gone to the other text I ain't respond to. Now I done gone to Instagram, and now I'm off focus of, you know, oops, I'm sorry, what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Yeah. So
that's right.
I don't know. It's weird.
So I'm going to go into the next part of social media because there's a lot of different aspects and a lot of different layers we're trying to peel back to. So this is shifting gears a little bit, but there is the huge thing about cancel culture right now that's all over social media, and maybe something could be pulled up from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or maybe it was just yesterday or today. And so a lot of people are like, do you support cancel culture? And is it cancel culture, or are we just holding people accountable for their actions? What you thinking?
I'm gonna raise my hand and say this. I feel like if y'all gonna cancel me, please just do it now. That's it. Because let me tell you all this. I genuinely feel our people, we're the only ones who choose to cancel people within our culture to put each other down. And I say that with all the love because cancel culture should be accountability in a way, right? And that's where the difference is, and that's what my beef with it is like I work in a predominantly white space, like being an influencer. Trust me, I've been there, like fighting for my worth within the space, pay all of that, right? And one thing I noticed within the influencer culture specifically, just as a creative, our people are quick to bring us down, quick. And that's what cancel culture is, especially on Twitter. Immediately, from 12 years ago, 10 years ago, there is no room for error. We put you up there so we can bring you back down. And unfortunately, that pushes us down compared to our white counterparts. Because you've heard some crazy shit from Jake Paul, from the horrible things, David Dobrik, all the likes of the, you know, big white influencers and creatives. Jeffree Star, and they're still successful. There are people who will still buy their stuff. And within our content, and I'm not saying that as like, if somebody does something bad, you know, they shouldn't be canceled. They shouldn't be held accountable. They should. But there's a certain lack of grace and lack of accountability within cancel culture that our community brings, and that's why I have beef with it. And it worries me a lot because the idea oftentimes is we put you up there, we are on this pedestal. If you mess up, you're gone. And there's a lack of accountability that comes with that because there's not enough of us up there anyways to begin with. Right. So that quickness to tell someone to get out before they could even explain their actions, show remorse, show anything else, is disappointing. And then we're never going to get far if we think like that.
No, I think that was very well said. I feel like a lot of it is just like the gang mentality. Like we see somebody ganging up on somebody. It's just so much easier to be like, yeah, well, you know, nobody agree with me all day, so I'm going to just agree with everybody else. Yeah. And, you know, like we going to gang up on you, and that's just what it is. And then it's like, it takes somebody to be like, actually, nah, they're actually not that bad. And then like, you know what, maybe they're not that bad. Like, it's just whatever the
or they're going to turn around and cancel you too.
Yeah. Or, and that's the, I think the biggest thing with it is just trying to figure out like, should I share my opinion now? Because if you do share your opinion and it's wrong or in the eyes of the bots and the other people that are on, like specifically to see the other opinion to trash it. I don't know. It's just it's a very scary thing, and people don't realize like it's really affecting people's
real
money,
life,
families. Like this is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like you really feel strongly about it, feel that way, but it's just again, it's a certain grace.
People forget about it. That's the funniest
thing. They forget about it because it's a vulture. People are vultures. The vultures need something else to eat.
I'm a little bit torn between the two. Okay. So I definitely think that there should be a level of grace that is like applied to everybody, but I do think that it does get to a certain level. Like there, of course, is a gang mentality, and sometimes like maybe it wasn't that bad, and that's where it's like, okay, there should be a level of grace. But sometimes I think that there is things that are just downright wrong. Yeah. And so like in those instances, like an R. Kelly or something, or a Tory Lanez, like I feel like they should be canceled. And so
unfortunately they're even not. Like
those
people are
and they're not. They're supported even more. And the thing is like, even for example, like some people just, I don't support what Tory Lanez was doing, but even if we talk about R. Kelly, I think that is, like, you can't argue that, like, that is something he should not be supported after the different things that he has done wrong. And I think sometimes maybe a little bit too much grace is applied, or people want to see it from their perspective, or see it, and it's just like, what are you seeing from that perspective? Like, do we continue to give these toxic people platforms where they're spewing any type of nonsense?
You're looking at it with logic. That's the problem, right? Because you're as a person, you're thinking, if I'm canceling someone, it's because I thought through why they should be canceled.
Right.
The mob isn't like that. The mob
the
don't.
masses
You know,
they're
not thinking
that
They're
way.
thinking, oh, we heard this person is horrible. We're gonna follow
without
through.
even doing any
Without
type of research.
But and the issue with that is people like R. Kelly, like the Mosby guy. What is his name?
Bill Cosby.
The Cosby man.
Yeah.
Like people like that, they pass through those cracks because the mob isn't looking for accountability. They know they did horrible things, so they don't care about that. But the person who has nuance, the one who was 12 years old who might have said something shiesty, and now they're at the top. Oh heck no, this person needs to go.
Right.
How
It's like a
Bring
hate
them
thing almost.
down.
It's a
And
hating
even
thing
to that
almost.
point, I did
And
see
that's when
something.
it gets weird.
Yeah, I did see something on Twitter where essentially they were saying, like, say someone goes viral and everyone's like hyping them up, and like someone was like, you know what, give it 2 weeks, like they're about to start tearing that person down. And so I do see your point there, because it's just like, okay, we can kind of be crabs in the barrel in some instances, but yeah, I think there is like both sides. Like, it's like logic, but then also like stop gang mentality.
Emotional. It's an emotional side to it. I think like
Triggering
one
stuff
of the
too,
biggest factors is that the internet and just like the accessibility of it, that we're able to just get on our phones, go to our favorite, celebrities page and comment.
And bomb
anything.
whatever you want.
As if
It's
there's not a
really
go for it
allowed
there.
so many interactions that would not ever happen in
real
person.
life.
Very
And
valid
so
point.
people have so much courage and so much bravery, like to say the things, that they say, and to be so judgmental. I mean, even in the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion situation, of course, there were a lot of people who had their opinions about her lying, to Gayle King, which fine, but y'all could not sit up here and act like y'all ain't lied on some dick or lied on some pussy before.
I mean,
who wants to admit that they was sleeping with Tory Lanez? Melly?
Like,
let's be real. Let's be fucking for real.
Be FFR.
You know what I mean? Like, if you were in that same situation, be honest with yourself. If you felt like people were already not believing your story and that this truth was only going to fuel that disbelief in people, 95% of people would turn around and do the same thing. 95% of people are not as honest as they want to hold these celebrities or these influencers, media personalities accountable to be. And I think that's really whack. The second part of that is have a real reason to cancel somebody. And when you cancel them, I do believe that there should be some sort of grace for when people show and prove that they're not that same person, that they don't think that same way. I do not think that it was fair that Kevin Hart had to apologize 311 million times over something that happened years ago when he showed and proved.
But that's my thing though. Like, the issue from the get-go, in my opinion, with cancel culture is you're giving the masses, and even us, honestly, people like us, you're giving us the opportunity to say who is right, who is wrong, how should they improve, right? So for you could say, well, Kevin apologized twice. Like, he should be good. Like, he showed improvement. Somebody else can say, F that apology. Didn't improve at all. Another person can say, we need like 10 more apologies and then he's good. You know what I mean? So there's so much nuance against anything anyways that, like, there's no way you're winning. Like,
or there's no way you're gonna make everybody happy.
Exactly. There's no way.
Happen.
And so even within cancel culture, trying to understand logic and saying like this person is already there's no right or wrong. Like, it's just it's what is already happening, and there's no, I don't want to say like, oh, there's no changing, but it's hard to put logic behind people just wanting to tear people down.
And let me say this. And let me just say this.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you to argue with God about it every time. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I get paid to give my opinion. And opinion is not fact. I think that's what a lot of people get confused on the internet as well. Like, my opinion is not fact. So, like, you arguing with me about my opinion, I'm not going to change what I think just because you told me what you think about what I think. I don't give a fuck about what you think about what I think, because I think what I think. And you telling me what you think is not going to change what I think about what the fuck I think. So with that being said,
it makes sense.
you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And I think if we can just, you know, when I get new followers or even on Twitter, if we can just be in this space and come from a place of from there, we'll be fine here.
Yeah.
We tell the same people, you know, who listen to our podcast, we are not here to offend you. We are here to offend everybody. And we are like, it's always funny until it's you.
Until it's
just
you.
laugh. Just laugh with it. It's not that deep. You know, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, as media personalities or as influencers, you have to decide now in today's world, how are you gonna position yourself? How are you going to navigate certain things? Because are you a Dave Chappelle or are you a Kevin Hart?
That's true.
Are you going to, you know, be the goody two shoes?
Will
I don't want to offend everybody. Sorry. No shade to Kevin Hart, but are you going to play that role? Or are you going to play the Dave Chappelle? I said what I said. You can take it or leave it. And if something happens and I change my mind and I change my opinion, I'm okay with saying I changed my mind and I changed my opinion.
No, that makes sense.
That's so true.
Makes sense. So a lot of the cancel culture, you know, especially with the Kyrie Irving situation, was something that he posted on his story, and it was, they said, would you endorse that? And that was like a big thing. Like, do you endorse what you just posted? Like, so do you feel like people that post stuff on their stories or people that
or
retweet something, like, does that a cosign? Like, are you saying I stand with this? Like, a lot of stuff, like, people repost Justin LeBoy all day or repost, like, does that mean like that's what I feel, that's what I'm standing with, or is it just, should we just see it as a repost or retweet?
Because a lot of people in their bio will say my retweets are not an endorsement and these are the opinions of myself. So it's kind of like both sides.
That's tough. And I mean,
tough.
I think right now, that's the question that you have to ask yourself, because it's like, you know, I do pay a lot more attention to even the tweets that I like now, because I can be liking something about how niggas ain't shit, and I'm laying beside my boo. I'm happy. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I just like this tweet. Y'all better not listen to me, because you know what's going on over here. But you do have to think about that, because it's like people will literally sit online and try to put two and two together from the likes, the things that you're liking, the things that you're retweeting, the things that you're saying. And sometimes you may think that you're really just shooting the shit or, you know, just interacting, you know, with people, trying to get your engagement. I don't know what the fuck I'm liking. I'm just going down this bitch. But you do have to think about that now, and that's scary.
I think it does show that, though, like, who you are, like, to me as a character standpoint. Because if you're reposting, like, or just what season you are in your life. Like, a lot of people, they'll post, like, you know, relationships are dead and blah, blah, blah. They just got their heart ripped out of their chest. You know what I'm saying? But I think it does expose a lot by what you repost on your stories. And, you know, me, I try to be as conscious as possible.
You have to be.
With stuff like that. Like, you know.
And honestly, while y'all talking about this is crazy, because that's exactly why I almost got canceled.
Really?
Because I did not mean to co-sign what I co-signed that got me in trouble. So I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick. I shouldn't tell this story because maybe they'll cancel me again. Let's just say it's fine. It's fine at this point. But like you just mentioned, engagement. I literally was like liking, and you know when like as an influencer, you're supposed to be like engaging with other folks. I will never forget that day in my life. I went that morning, I was liking and commenting, and for everybody who I liked their photo, I would comment the automatic comment heart thingy. I would do that and just go like down the list. And I did that for like maybe 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm good, right? And I went to bed, and I woke up to screenshots on Twitter where it was like, look at your faves liking. Apparently the person who I had liked their comment was a rapist, or the R word, right? And so I became synonymous with rape apologists.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. And
out
it was
of nowhere.
out of nowhere.
Wow.
And it went on for like 6 to 7 months. So all the work I had done, women's empowerment, everything, all my videos, all of it was like, she's a fake feminist. She like this, she like that.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, girl. And there was no way I could go out and say, I promise I did not mean to like that photo. I didn't even text it, or I did not even look at the photo until y'all took that screenshot. But even then, like, that was exactly what they saw. And so since then, girl, now because I realized then I am a public figure in many ways. Like whatever people see, so like there's different sides to you, right? You have the sides your friends see, you have the sides you're hoping to portray. But as a social media personality, you also have the personality you're portraying to the world and what they think you are. So I can go up there and say, oh, I'm a women's empowerment person, but someone can watch my Instagram and go, oh, she's a fashion girl, right? So people are also judging and looking at me through their own lenses.
Right.
And that picture they're drawing has a lot to do with what I put out there.
Yeah.
So for them to say, who is Sophie, who's the oddity, they're going to go through my likes, go through my Instagram stories, my highlights, my old posts to form an idea of who I am in their heads. And so now I have to be careful about it and curate the life that I'm hoping people can get out of me. So that's like, my stories have to be very careful now. If I'm liking a photo, I know why I'm liking it. If I'm reposting anything, I'm writing a text that says, I support this, or I hate this, or I don't like this, so people understand and clarify. Because it's hard. People don't see nuance anymore.
That's
it's
a
scary.
big thing.
It's
like,
scary.
as personalities, I know certain issues, I want to be very clear with my audience, like, on where I stand, so that nobody gets me fucked up. Okay? Like, certain issues, I feel like a lot of personalities, like, tend to walk the line. Like, even with this Megan Thee Stallion and
I
Tory.
saw a lot of people
Tory
silent.
case, a lot of people are silent, and a lot of
Silence
people
about it.
walk the line. And same thing with Kanye. They walk that line because it's like, I'm so scared to be right or wrong either way. And I feel like for me, is what's the point of me having a platform, having this microphone, having a voice, if I don't say the things that that I feel or that people, are thinking or want to say themselves. I'm supposed to be that voice. And so I have to be okay with saying, you know what, I didn't know as much as I know now. Like, now I feel differently, or whatever the case is, or I can say, I told you bitches, I told y'all. It really depends, and it's a scary, scary line. And I want to know what you guys think too about this, like, in years to come, like in the next 5 years, because I've seen a lot of influencers, and you can talk about this from your standpoint. I see a lot of influencers sharing less. Even like Aaliyah J, she's one of my favorite makeup influencers.
So sweet.
Fashion girl. And I'll notice a lot of times she'll do like a trip or something, and then she'll make her vlogs, her reels about her photos, and then she'll post everything on her story that she just saved. And then she'll post everything, and then she'll go on about her business. And I love that. I really want that to happen more, because the constant oversharing, the constant access to people, it's actually really fucking creepy.
It is. And I think even for me, from that perspective, like, it might be the Nigerian in me. I don't know, Sophie, if you kind of relate depending on what I'm about to say. But, like, literally, my mom, like, will be like, do not post anything while you're gone. So, like, even if I'm going, God forbid I would post a flight while I'm on the flight. Like, that would just never happen. But, like, if I'm out of town or I'm doing something, I will not post in real time. I have done that recently because I clearly lost my bearings, and I think I was out with you, Shay. And all of a sudden, and you know what? I did not think I was going to go here, but I'm going to go there.
And somebody pulled
up. And it's like, I know the person well enough that they should have called or texted and said, hey, I'm pulling up. We haven't talked in 3-4 years, and you're telling me you came specifically for me.
Saw that post.
Because you saw the post. But not only did they do it once, they did it twice. So after that, I have not caught you up, girl. But after that, they have been blocked.
Okay, good.
I will not say which pronoun they identify with, but like, they have been blocked. And
the pronoun.
I am an eyewitness to this.
Yes,
I am an eyewitness to this.
I was shocked, and it really reminded me, like, you cannot post in real time because I don't know what their intentions were. I don't know why you're showing up in these multiple places I'm with, and we have a friendship or an acquaintanceship enough that you should tell me you're coming if you're coming, and not just
to
be
a
like,
spot that I'm
surprise.
at.
Like, because it's like, what if you were gonna do something bad? So I think it's like,
what if you were with somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's the scary part.
that happens to me.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens to me.
You're trying to pop up.
And literally, all I did was post a drink. Like, I posted it,
and they knew the background,
and they knew the background or whatever, and they pulled up, and like, they was both in there at the same time with me, and I had to like introduce them, like, low kid. I'm just like,
I mean,
I didn't ask for this.
Name.
First of all, I didn't ask
Y'all
for either
did
of you.
that
I came here to have a drink by my goddamn self. It's a long story, but what I'm saying is, you really have to be like so careful. I think as also influencers, personalities, we don't realize the view that other people have of us. So we could just be in our regular, I'm just chilling, like I'm at the bar with my girls, I'm with my friend, like, you know, we're out or whatever, my girl's working, and we're not necessarily always thinking like from that standpoint of like, these people really think I'm somebody, or they really, or you know, people just want to be around, or people just want to be at like this event that they just think is the hottest thing, and you're there, and your friends are there, and we just want to be there, and you just can literally not post in real time.
No, I tell all my influencer friends, you can't. I used to be a proponent of posting in real time while I was growing, and I have had too many scary encounters like you guys where I'm like, okay, this isn't safe. I will say the issue is finding authenticity in recording to then post, because honestly, as an influencer, your post don't do well if you don't post in real time.
Yeah, especially if you're going to like an influencer event.
They don't
like
do
that.
well.
People are looking for you to post so they can
So-
see what's going on.
So typically what I tend to do is I post in real time, I save it, and then just post after. Literally, like, if I leave
Immediately after.
I feel like I don't want to say this, and I'll be like, okay, well, if she leaves 5 minutes right after where she goes. But I typically do that immediately after. They do that immediately after, or when I'm sharing, I'm very vocal about, hey, this happened last week, let me catch you all up about what happened, and I say that.
Right.
I have a friend who, like, low key on her stories right now, she's still in October. Because that's how far behind she's still posting her life, and I know it happened in October, and she's posting that like it's in real time, and most people don't see it too, like they don't know the difference. So it's like either you're not telling your audience like, oh, you're not posting in real time, it just happens, or you do that and you're very careful with it. It's hard. I'll be honest with you, and it's very
like
I'm a DJ. I'll be like, come pull up. The thing is, I cannot beef with nobody. You gotta understand, I cannot beef with nobody, bro. You mad at me? Listen, let's talk about it.
When I used to blog,
let's talk about this over a cold drink, brother.
I have had smoke with a few people, and I ain't no scary bitch. Like, I'm from the 757. I'm not scary at all, but I do understand that, like, I have a brand and I have a lot to lose, and I have more to lose. And so it's like, it has been times where I'm like, you know, I'm posting this flyer, I'm posting up, and I know I just cussed this girl out about my, you know, and she might be up on me. And I really might have the security carry her out. Like, it may have to be
I used to have security
one of those.
on deck.
That's crazy.
When I used to push parties, like push parties.
Oh, and those African parties?
Girl.
They get physical there.
No, literally.
So what I'm seeing,
they be fighting.
So I used to promote since I was like 19 up until like 23, 24. So we were bringing the Whiz Kids, the DeVitos, anyone you could think of. And you would be surprised about, like, not even to do with the artist, but the fact that when you charge someone $20, because it's like, I would do the press releases, I would work the door, I would do whatever was needed to make my party successful. So it's like, I could be at the door and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's $20. Oh, X, Y, and Z, one of my partners said that I'm free, because you know how these fellas be having these women on deck, and so they told,
look at
David J. They had
well,
so many people coming for free. And so I think the first time I got in a fight was maybe like I was 21. And yes,
I remember that story too.
Yeah. And so I am leaving the club. It's actually not too far from here. Aqua Lounge used to be up and popping and bumping. I'm leaving the club and someone tugged on my hair. I'm thinking that it's a guy trying to flirt with me. And so I'm like, oh, who's this? And then I just realized I keep going back. I'm like, hold on.
Oh, hey,
I never knew how to fight before then. I didn't but it kicked in. And I was like, boss. And like, next thing you know, the whole crew pulled up. And like, that girl, I promise you, she will never do it again. But like, it's just like, it's dangerous. Like, just being out in public.
And so many people know you.
I don't fight no more.
And so many people know you, but you don't know them. And so it'd be times like I'll tell my Instagram followers, because a lot of times y'all will come up to me in public and you don't look like you're Abby. Like, I could be talking to you in the DMs.
Oh my God.
I'll be like, y'all gotta tell me who the fuck y'all are. You gotta tell me. You know I ain't never met you before. Don't do that.
You don't even look like your page.
First of all,
first of all,
last year at Air. And you know, like, I'm seeing people in purple, so I know they're like, you know, with us. But some of them weren't. And like, security officer like, yeah, these 3 girls, they say, you know, they good. Like, they say they with you. I don't know them girls.
Right.
And then finally the girl's like, oh no, Shay, like, I was talking to you in the DMs, it's my birthday. You said, I was like, hey girl. She good. Y'all gotta tell me that. I don't know who y'all are. But that's scary, because you're like, I don't know who in this room knows me. You know what I mean? Because I don't know none of y'all. But y'all know me. It's scary.
No, it is. But I definitely think, you know, some good points were made here today. I definitely think that it was some good sharing, especially on the canceling. And
we gonna wrap it up, or can we talk about one more point?
Okay, I
How are
mean,
y'all
we're a
feeling?
little,
How y'all
we're a
feeling?
little over. Okay.
We got 5 minutes.
Okay.
See, I be trying to
so
be
we
on
can-
time.
Okay. You know,
We gonna keep it short.
we gonna keep it short.
It's not gonna be short.
It
'cause I know
will be
exactly what you about to talk
short,
about.
but it is really heavy on my heart
Go ahead,
because
go ahead,
we were
just let it
talking
off. Go
about
ahead, just let it off.
accountability.
Uh-huh.
And so,
You've been talking about this for weeks.
What
Just
is
let
it?
off.
okay,
Just
so
let
we're
it off,
talking about
bruh.
accountability. And so, if you are in a relationship,
Here we go.
and someone likes something that may or may not be a compromising photo, is it just social media, or should there be some type of
No short topic.
respect that comes when you're in a relationship?
You like that half
Essentially.
naked bitch?
Yeah,
You like that?
I feel
They
like
love you like that.
I feel like because we work in a space where it's like a business and it's a social site as well. I've never really been the type to like be pressed on like the person that I'm like what they're liking, because I kind of feel like it's a photo, it's Instagram, you're supposed to like it, or you know, whatever platform it is, you're supposed to like it. Now, where my issue comes in is when you start commenting, like when there are DMs, when it's just like clear line crossing, inappropriate, like social media behavior. Because like at the end of the day, if one of my
gotta
homies
elaborate
posts a
on the
picture in a suit and they look good, you're not gonna want me to comment under their photos with a whole bunch of hard eyes. You're not gonna want
or
that.
fire
Hold
So
on,
don't
crazy.
do anything
Fire signs be like
to
the sneaky
me.
little-
Yeah.
The fire
Sneaky
sign is the
sign,
sneaky shot.
the sneaky shot.
Or not even sneaky. I feel like
Flames.
sometimes, you know, like men who are married or who are in relationships, they do like give me like the fire signs or whatever because they are genuinely trying to be respectful.
Support the
Like
post.
you look nice. It's okay to
I'm
be in
not
a
liking her,
relationship.
baby. I'm supporting her post.
But it's okay to be in a relationship and still feel like somebody else looks nice.
Yeah.
It like I don't know. I just don't necessarily feel like
So
that's a
I
problem.
do agree with. Okay, so I like, even if I'm in a relationship, I will like anybody's picture. So like it could be of the opposite sex, same sex, whatever. And I don't mind if the person I'm with likes that. However, when it gets to a point where like it's beyond social media engagement and this woman is naked, she is turned around, fully turned around, her butt is the main aspect of the photo, I personally feel like, okay, I want you to sit down with me and tell me what exactly you liked about this photo.
what?
Like, no, because let's
Come
actually
sit this man down and
Unless she
ask
got
her,
a fat
what you
ass.
like? I like her ass.
Okay,
That was a
okay.
fat ass.
Creature, you know,
No, but I feel
Come
like
on,
I feel like you
man.
didn't need to like it.
Stop.
I'm not gonna
You
like
didn't,
it.
you didn't,
He
you didn't have to like
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
I'm not gonna like a
Okay,
guy's
so
picture because
I'ma
his dick
say
prints
this.
and his
I'ma say
great
this.
There's this thing called look and scroll that you
But
can
also,
exercise.
we all know the black SEX pages on Twitter
Come on,
that people be
man.
on.
Well, you can't avoid. Yeah.
I'm like, you see and you like it. You don't like it and then retweet or whatever. Like, you can see something and not interact with it. You choosing to interact with it is sending a message.
It's
And if you
supporting
especially-
the
stay
that's
on
cause.
the picture for
especially
like 3
sex-
seconds, I'll still get the engagement.
Like,
without you
especially,
liking it.
Right.
yeah, especially the sexual posts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, you've seen that girl in a full outfit and you didn't like her photo, but she put a
Right.
bikini on and she put her thong out and you were like, yeah,
And then all of a
that's
sudden
the
this
one for
picture
I
me.
think once you
I'm
do that
engaging
though,
with
once you
content.
like make somebody like second guess what they can like and what they don't, the app is just not fun anymore, and
That's
it's no
okay.
longer.
Well, it's more
That's
so.
it.
It's not- that's okay.
I think that's why
Bro,
we
come
have
on,
to dive
man.
into.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why they
what
had
I'm
to take
about it.
that following tab off. I'm glad
What
they
do
did
you-
that. I'm glad.
Oh,
Such
that's
and
what
such
you
just
see-
like,
but how do y'all
oh,
still even
it
know
was
when
a
they like
snitch
photos?
right there
But
on the left side.
I think I'm different because I'm not a very visual, like, okay, if I like a man or something, like, even before I see the pictures and different stuff, like, I've already decided whether I like you or not, or the same thing about before someone approaches me.
Mhm.
So, like, if a guy has his abs out and stuff, like, I'm not like, oh, that's so sexy. So maybe I can't understand why it's like, oh, this photo is so enticing that I literally could not hold my finger back. from, like,
There's a
liking
dopamine.
it.
There's a certain dopamine.
First
in
of all,
men.
what kind of dopamine
Now,
is that?
It is a proven fact that there's a dopamine that kicks in when
Not
men
in- That's not true.
When men see
Is-
what?
What's
when
that?
men
What?
see something
Cite-
attractive.
Cite that
When
research.
men see something
men, whatever,
But
Yeah,
men
but,
are
whatever
like
it was,
visual
but you ain't
creatures.
gotta
they're visual
like
creatures.
it.
So
You ain't gotta like
and
that photo.
you sometimes, you know, you're not really thinking
Honestly,
about it.
actually,
But I
no.
guess after somebody checks you for it, like I have been in a situation where girls like, why are you liking? It was like my friend's pictures. I was like, I mean, it was a nice picture. Like, but then she was like, I don't like you liking her picture because now she, you know, asking me why am I liking your pictures if I'm with you, and then
Yeah,
it's
now
like,
some
whoa,
women are like that.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
that's
women
Like
are
that's
like that.
that's when it's like,
That's the
okay, now we need
thing.
to really dissect.
No, 'cause
like
girls-
Man,
girls
be
do
liking
it's
my
like,
stuff.
yeah,
Look at all this
and it's
stuff.
like,
and they'll
bro, it's
come and
not even that
embarrass
deep.
you.
And let me
That's
tell you
like,
something.
I didn't know it was that deep.
Women
It
are
is.
for women. We're like women will be for women
Until the man comes
but
in.
like we have no loyalty to each other when it comes to men.
No.
It's just that's
it
just a
is.
fact.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we don't have any loyalty to each other when it comes to men. So
Yeah.
it's very very competitive. Like
Yeah.
a woman will take the slightest thing. Oh yeah, well if he love you so much, then why he be commenting her eyes under my picture?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because bitch, he thought you looked nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Like huh?
And
That don't mean I want to take her out because I like her photo.
That's what I'm saying.
That don't mean I want to.
I like
do
men's
things to
photos,
her.
and that by no
can't.
means
Yeah.
means that I want him to now DM me and ask me out. That is
Wait,
not
unless
what
I,
Put that
unless
on
I
the
liked
record
it, I
now.
like your 2018 photo, then you know that's a sign.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know
Or
what I mean. Unless I scrolled all the way down,
Or
to
I'm
follow
very-
me,
I'm
you just
very,
looking at a
very
can of
supportive
oil.
with the
I know what I'm
stories.
looking at a
Supportive.
can of oil.
All right,
No,
see,
I don't do the
we
pictures, I do the
not going.
stories.
We
Well,
Like,
DJ Davy
I'm
J,
like, oh,
the
this is
Virgo.
so
Let me
funny.
ask you this.
Yes.
we done. We're wrapping
we're
this
done?
up. We're wrapping this up. 'cause
All right.
I see this
Davey
is about to
feels
go on for a long
attacked.
time. I don't feel
I
attacked.
had a question.
Go ahead. What's up?
So this was my question. All
Uh-huh.
right, if you're a man, and you're a visual, you're a visual creature, and you're seeing all these girls
No
post these
self-control.
pictures and thongs and leggings and see through this, see through that.
Right.
Okay, the second hand of that, why is it that so many men you will like those pictures or you'll engage with that content, but you don't want your girl or the person that you're dating to even remotely post anything close or
To that
similar
Yeah.
to that type of
Or
content?
dress like that.
What is that?
I think that's a lot to unpack. So I think we're gonna go ahead and end the
All right.
Crazy.
No,
All right, folks.
I'm gonna be short and quick about it. I feel like when you have a woman and they are not, if your woman is already doing that previously to when you guys are dating, you cannot be mad at her doing that because that is her natural state. That is what she feels comfortable with.
Yeah.
That is now her content box. If she is not doing that and starts doing that after you guys are dating or when you guys are dating,
But what if she wants
and you
to
don't
be
feel
like the girls you
comfortable.
like?
Exactly. I was gonna get into that. And she wants to feel comfortable doing that. That's a conversation. That's like, hey, is everything good? Like, do you feel like you're not getting enough attention from me? Like that's a
Yeah, 'cause
conversation.
you don't be liking my
wouldn't-
pictures the way you like
wouldn't-
these bitches.
And then
Yeah, I
after
wanna
that
be
it's like
enticing.
baby,
I want to
well,
get your dopamine levels up.
see, Bravo, you're annoying.
See, Raro,
You're annoying. Bravo is
got it.
annoying. Guys, you hear this? Run.
She said
Run.
dopamine levels
Don't
up.
run into the DMs.
Chill,
Run into the block.
Chill, I'm done.
You don't.
Anyways.
Man, like I get a dope.
Cause that's me on a
Bravo,
quiet
coming
Thursday,
out.
walking past. How your dopamine levels?
How your dopamine levels? How you
Good.
liking
See you
any
on that
ass
phone.
today, nigga?
I think I might post my ass today too.
Wait, baby, wait, hold on.
Take this.
Take this.
I got you, girl.
All right.
That's a good question, though, and I feel like that's a
one.
whole nother. I could go deeper, but
Yeah.
for the sake of time,
Yeah.
we're just gonna go ahead and end
done.
it. Sit down. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. You want to check out? Say anything?
Thank you guys so much. We had a great time. Don't forget to watch all the other videos and episodes. It's gonna
Social
be a
media,
fun.
social
Social
media.
media.
Oh, mine? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. You can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else at The Oddity. That's THE_ODDITTY. I love you guys. Mwah.
All right. Of course, I'm Shay Parker. You can follow me at I am Shay Parker on all platforms. Shay like Shea Butter, but spelled CHEY. And definitely make sure you check out the Diva Unfiltered podcast. Season 4, baby.
Awesome. So thank you, Davy J. I know you're already signing us out, but thank you guys so much for tuning into the Raw Relay and Davy J podcast, aka the Virgo podcast. We might try that. Low key.
I like it.
We'll be back
Oh,
next
God.
week signing off.